Hello, it's Paul from workwithstormy.com, and what you see on television and here on radio is largely full of shit. Now, I'll come back to that in a minute, but what I'm doing here is day 16 of the Facebook Live Challenge. Now, we only had topics up to day 15, so today's day 16 and I've decided to make up my own topic. What does social media mean to you? Now, this, depending on how you see it, could be a very, very big topic, or it might be a little topic if you don't really have that much to do with it. But I'm guessing if you're interested at all in Facebook Lives, then you're probably fairly heavily into social media. Now, what I said before about what you see on TV and here on radio is largely full of shit is what social media taught me a while ago is that there is a lot that goes on in this world that really needs questioning. Now, before social media, I just basically went along with whatever I heard on the radio, whatever I saw on the TV, the news, believing that that was really how the world was. And since the advent of social media and spending a bit of time on it, I used to be very heavily involved in Twitter 4 or 5 years ago. I spent a lot of time on Twitter, and that was something where I got most of my news from, I guess. And of course, it was just largely opinions of different people, but it was it had a feel about it that it was like the finger on the pulse. And g'day Teresa, g'day Roxanne, g'day Cindy, how you going? So that was my first sort of real thing with social media, was Twitter. I also Instagram, but back then it was more, for me, it was just about, because I used to do a lot of photography, and I just basically posted my pictures on there, and I didn't use it as really a social media platform, just for putting my photos on. Of course, these days Instagram is so big as far as a social media platform that it may rival, or probably does in a way, Facebook and YouTube, etc. So, social media, that was the big thing I got from it, was that it taught me to question everything, question what you hear and see. And I don't read newspapers anymore or anything like that, but a lot of people, probably 90% of people out there, think that everything they hear and see on the radio and the TV is the way it is. And quite frankly, it isn't. That's what they want us to see. And, that's kind of we live in a bit of a manufactured society. I think many Western countries do. And everything really needs to be questioned. Even, when you get down to health and wellness and all that sort of stuff too, the stuff that gets sprayed all over our food, the way stuff, genetically modified organisms, all that sort of stuff. So many people don't have any idea about what's really going on at all. And this is where social media, I think, has been a very, very important thing into opening people's eyes. So that's another thing. That's one of the main things. Now, with you'll often come across people that'll say, you may say, look, I've got all these friends on Facebook, or I've got all these friends that I converse with on Twitter or whatever it is, and people say, oh yeah, but they're not real friends, they're just like pocket friends, or they're not real. Well, this is my take on that. Why is it any different from the people that like your physical friends that you've actually met face to face? I've actually met quite a few my Facebook and Twitter friends face to face, obviously not so much the ones overseas, but you're still talking to them, you're still sharing ideas and sharing your life with them and all this sort of thing. So what's the difference, really? Just because, look, here I am looking at you guys through a screen. I'm live, I'm not scripted, I'm not sort of, it's pure, it's real, it's, I'm a real person, and you people on the other end are real. So what's the difference? What's the difference between your real friends, as in your physical real friends, or people you know, on the other end of this, you know, on a phone somewhere else, you know, wherever you are. I don't really see there's any difference. And more these days, with people, especially young people, interacting with others a lot on their phone, not talking to them like this, like they used to. I don't see any difference now. Now, when you also think about the fact that, and this is not necessarily from a business point of view or a personal point of view, but just generally, how often you're walking along and people are just, you know, their head looking down at their phones when they're even walking along, trying to avoid running into a lamppost or something. Or if they're watching TV, I mean, they don't watch ads anymore on the TV. Basically, when an ad comes on the telly, they probably pick up their phone and actually look at that. Or they fast forward, because these days with TV, you can, you know, most of the stuff you see, which isn't live, of course, obviously, you just fast forward through the ads and so forth. So, I mean, a lot of time is spent people looking at their phones, and you know, it's social media. I mean, some of it's gaming and stuff, but gaming is also social media, because usually it's attached to a sort of a social media platform. So, my take on it is that social media is life. This is the way it is now, and trying to, you know, sort of make fun of people that spend a lot of time on it, or having a bit of a joke about it, you know, it's just, that's a thing of the past. Social media is life. And however much time you want to spend on it, I guess, is up to you. Some people don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but know this, a lot of stuff is happening out there on social media. If you don't get up with it, you're just going to miss out on stuff and get left behind. So that's how I see it. Business point of view, you know, I spent a lot of time doing this type of thing, obviously, to get my name out there, get my face out there for a business purpose, as a lot of other people do these days. Now, before social media came along, that just wasn't possible, anything like what it is now. So, I mean, anyone who wants to build themselves up a business, work from home, earn money online, any of that sort of thing, social media has allowed anybody anywhere in the world to do it. So think about that. It's such an important part of life now. So, g'day Biff. Anyway, that's my day 16. Hope you got something from it. If this is the first time you've actually watched one of my lives, please put a 1 below. And if you're one of my regulars, or you've just seen 1 or 2 of my lives before, please put a number 8 in the comments. All right? And I will see you with hopefully some other interesting topic tomorrow. Bye now.